You can underpay someone, you can work them to death, but if you show them a pizza party every once in a while, that's where management goes wrong. You had that, I think that's when Little Caesars started their $5 pizza. Like that was the beginning, man. That was the founding fathers of the Little Caesars rolled out, man.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was earlier than that. I'm trying to think what else was really good.
That was before they changed all the recipes. I think.
The recipe.
Yeah, so for some of those, like I think when we were growing up, didn't Pizza Hut taste better than those fucking ones? I've heard Little Caesars taste better than it does now. But we might be burned out just from. I mean,
We've had a lot.
We don't know how many times pizza has saved uprisings within the corporate world. Corporate uprisings and prevented unionization and everything.
But all I know is every training I take on building your team up and building that camaraderie has the pizza at the center. Because at some point you're going to need to utilize that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you don't deploy a pizza party or
intensive training on pizza,
you can underpay someone, you can work them to death. But if you show them a pizza party every once in a while, that's where management goes wrong.
But I would say that if you're looking for a first time job, especially in a career field, if you're not talking about pizza incentivization during your interviews or when you're signing your papers, you're missing out.
Now, depending on which management school you're from, some may go with the donut part. I have seen that and it's worked. It takes a certain, I think you invest a lot of energy in it because it's early in the morning, it's donuts, so you're appealing to a certain crowd and you have to have that energy. So, if you don't have the pizza party, I think you're okay to talk donuts, but you're going to need to figure out your market. Do you have a good donut place in the area? Is this a Dunkin' Donuts area? Where are we at?
The grocery store, donuts.
Yeah, if I'm interviewing next to a box store grocery store, I know that they're over there hoarding down on the next day donuts. You get a dozen for $5. That company's gonna love it. I'm gonna talk a little bit of donuts and pizza. That's how I'm gonna roll.
But it depends where the pizza's from. Case in point, the documentary that they have on that paper company out in Pennsylvania, that manager tried to do, I think, like pizza by Alfredo's instead of Alfredo's pizza. And that, he almost lost his whole office.
He did lose his whole office if someone wouldn't order the right pizza.
Yeah.
Because I think, didn't they go back and order the right pizza, or did they?
I think they just kind of dealt with it.
Did they deal with it?
Yeah, I just remember that it was just.
But I mean, great point for managers, right? You can, even if you get them cardboard pizza, it's the thought.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, that's really what you're showing. You're showing them that I lead from the front when I'm out there with that purchase card, getting pizza.
So when I'm getting 4 dozen Little Caesars versus a really good other pizza. No, I mean, it comes down to it.
But again, you need to know your audience. If I were in that paper company's, in their leaflet, or whatever you call it, organization, their footprint, their geo footprint, their agro footprint. I would have known that quantity is not better than quality because there wasn't as many workers. Now, you bump up to corporate and you're doing it for all of your paper companies. Let's get quantity. You don't want someone not getting pizza. There's going to be some of the doubles and triple packers that are coming through there. Everyone needs pizza. Excess pizza. It's almost like dollar bills at a strip club. You want to make sure that they know you're loaded with some pizzas. It may only be cheap pizzas.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's for everyone.
You know, and maybe we should make a whole segment on management do's and don'ts. But I would say,
So,
to your point of quantity, the other important thing is don't give in to cost of living changes. If 10 years ago you can do an incentive for $1.20 per person in your direct organization area,
yeah, when you're
don't budge on that. Don't bump that up to $3 10 years later.
No.
Stick with that original $1.20.
Do you know why? Why? Because pizza doesn't inflate.
Right.
They knew it when they made pizza back. I think it was in the 40s when Wall Street hit. They also slid in the making of American pizza, so that they knew that
When Chef Boyardee came across on the boat,
when Mr. Biarde was over here, the people at Wall Street were like, "We're going to need something to hold this together."
when Big Caesars started his company that he's going to pass on to Little Caesar later in his life, he was on top of it. I mean, it was before Sbarro's and everything. But no, you're right. Pizza doesn't do that. It is one of those products that is it's recession proof.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is.
And
I mean, they'll spice it up. They'll say, "Oh, you still get your we'll say $3 pizza,
right?
Or once you want this like $8 pizza, it's more comparable to Joe's Pizza down the road, and we'll add some extra stuff. But you can see inflation, recession-free pizza.
And there's variety in pizza, right? You don't have to stick with pepperoni.
No, you can get cheese.
Right. You can, as the great Kevin McAllister did, cheese. Everybody wants cheese on their pizza, just no matter if they want the meat on it or not.
Yeah. Every pizza, every great pizza starts out as a cheese pizza. That's a fact.
That is a fact. If I was to go back in time and visit Italy, I would be pointing that out right away.
Yeah.
I was like, look, I know you're going to try to take this across the big water over there with Christopher Columbus and stuff, but take a fucking cheese pizza with you. It's to start this shit early.
Do you know how quickly a lot of things could have been settled in the early stages of the United States if cheese pizza would have been out there?
Oh, yeah.
It wouldn't have been shot heard around the world. It would have been cheese pizza.
Do you not think that
felt around
the people of Roanoke would still be, like, they would never have gone missing had they had pizza in their storages? Ever. Or, I mean, you can't fault Thanksgiving for happening as far as, going together. And this is written fact, right? We know exactly, this is exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
That they pooled their resources and I can't remember the native's name, but they brought their hunt stuff and they had Thanksgiving, right?
They shared.
Things, I would hate to think that camaraderie and years and decades and centuries worth of, cohesiveness between everybody,
diversity
would be jeopardized had they not had churches. But if they had pizza,
that's how good pizza works. If Thanksgiving does bring people together, try that in a corporation. Throw them a big Thanksgiving dinner. No one's going to appreciate it. They'll probably fall asleep. They're not going to appreciate it.
Do you think there would have even have been a civil war had there been pizza at the negotiating table?
Not at all. Nope. Not even once.
I don't think Boston would have to have gone so far as to throw their tea supply into the water had they had pizza.
No.
King George just got a nice steaming hot pie.
Yeah. If he was just able to shovel a steamy hot pie right down his gullet and just take that hot pie and feel what it did to him.
And I would even venture as far as to say that if had the Revolutionary War still happened, if it still happened, and it still led to, okay, we'll go as far as to, outlandish, but right? Okay. Do you think John Wilkes Booth would have looked up if old Abe was sitting there chomping down on a nice slice?
You can't kill someone.
He would no. He would have been okay. Lay down there. Let's talk this through. Oh, can I
That's probably what would have happened. Is it would have turned more into a.
Abe probably would have given him his crust, and it could have been stuff.
Or it could have been a immediate switch to, I want to kill this person, to I want to eat their pizza.
Yeah.
And just wait, it could have turned into a robbery. Simple. We could still have Abraham Lincoln around today if Wilkes Booth would have just robbed that pizza.
Think of all the additional memes and stuff Abraham Lincoln would have invented had he still been around. I mean, he kicked it off.
He kicked it off
but
strong.
his work is incomplete because lack of pizza.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't martyred, martyred by that. He could have created so many more. It was just.
And I don't know how.
I mean, a robbery is a class C misdemeanor, and I'm pretty sure back then. So, I mean, Wilkes Booth may not have been able to, act in the next play or something. But then what? I don't know. Old age
Conspiracy. If you're very far into conspiracy theories,
I doubt it.
I doubt. If you believe the story as it's written, that Lee Harvey Oswald committed said crime.
Yeah.
I mean, think of it. If he got a pizza during his lunch break, he would have been dealing with pizza instead of trying to shoot out the window.
Absolutely.
If it even got that far.
Or if, and I can't even imagine this happens, you're biting into a slice of hot, steaming pizza, if you decide you still need to lob some lead down range, your hands are going to be so greasy. As you go to start fumbling with the bullets, you're like, I'm going back to the pizza.
Yeah.
So even if he would have made it through the first bout of the steamy goodness, there's no way that he wouldn't have been drawn back.
Mm-mm.
No. And if anything, if this second gunman was on the grassy knoll, if anything, that second gunman's going to shoot Harvey, so he can go up there and nab that pizza. So at this point, I mean, we could still have JFK. Think of all these presidents we could still have. I think
pizza.
This management.
Pizza's the great equalizer.
It is. It is.
It brings people together.
Mm-hmm. It's a well-known story, but not well talked about. Is
yeah. What is it?
How pizza allowed more people to escape on the Titanic.
Except for Jack. I think.
Well, Jack was from Italy.
Was he?
Yeah.
Just pretend he is for this. Let's say he is.
And he hadn't seen cheese pizza yet. So to him, that blew his mind. He thought they had desecrated Boyardine's pizza creation.
Luigi Biardi.
Yeah. Well, Luigi Biardi pizza. But no, the band came out, they started playing, and people were serving single-size cheese pizza, and immediately boats got filled faster, more efficiently. Supplies were rendered quicker because they were full. But not a lot of people talk about it because they don't want that to get out. Before you know it, we're going to be fighting, foreign countries with pizza. I mean, we can't have that.
The only concern or the only skepticism I still carry is I don't think on the Titanic that Jack would have made it with pizza. Because I think the bitch would have still drowned him. Well, she wouldn't let him on the door.
She wouldn't, which would have been fine if Jack had some pizza, because he no longer cares. Once he has some pizza in his stomach, he's spraying a whole bunch of bitch feed on, and she's
Well, back then it's possible that pizza boxes were made out of wood. And say for argument's sake that maybe she was floating on a pizza box that at that time would have probably been big enough to also be able to hold him as well.
It absolutely could. But he was more interested in a different pie than a pizza pie. And so if he would have just had his pizza pie, he could have forgot about it and probably just hopped on another floating body or any other thing. literally any other thing, a whole ship made of things that float, he could have thought of, but no, he was so attached to that. He was thinking of the shorter shore.
The dick?
No, his small aft.
Well, I think with that one,
Yeah.
we'll probably close this episode out.
Well, until next time, keep your assholes clean, your toilet paper dry, and your beer cold. Have a good one.